Hey, welcome everybody. I'm going to show you this latest project I just did. This is my first voiceover, so be kind to me. As you can see, we have a rabbit problem, and I can't rely on these two idiots to keep them completely out. Obviously, that concrete slab you're looking at is completely open on the bottom. Rabbits and possums have dug it out, and you can see underneath all the way to the back, anywhere from 3 or 4 inches tall to almost 6 or 8 inches tall towards the house. And it's just basically floating in space, and when you walk on it, it vibrates and sounds hollow, and one of these days it's just going to collapse completely. So we decided to finally do something about it after, I don't know, several years of dealing with this. So time to head to the store and get topsoil, some blocks, all kinds of stuff. My idea was start backfilling dirt, shoving dirt up underneath there. The foam companies, I called one, a foam company that could lift up leveling, concrete leveling. They wanted around $600 to do this. So I figured I could probably do it probably just about as good with using topsoil. I made a little 2x4 pusher there, you can see. And well, this is basically it. Just started dumping soil in there and pushing everything back at the back, tamping it in as hard as I can. You really can't tell from the video, but it was a lot of effort. Here I decided to try and lift up the slab a little bit with a jack. So I figured if I could get another inch or so in the air, I could get the dirt packed in there as tight as I could, and then eventually lower that jack down to compress the dirt more solidly. And so basically this was, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours it seems like, of just dumping dirt, shoving it in that hole in there, and tamping it down as hard as I could, kicking it, using a hammer, whatever. Next I also decided to stick some concrete blocks I had. They're just cheap paving stones, but I thought maybe that would help reinforce everything. So coming up here you'll see I bought some or stuck some concrete blocks underneath there to help fill in some of the space and also have something a little more solid underneath there than dirt. But I thought for some reason that 20 bags was going to be enough to do this whole job, and that was 20 bags you just saw right there, and I'm barely halfway through the whole thing. So I had to go out and get 35 more bags, or maybe 35 more bags. It ended up taking, and then I bought 10 more after that total. So I think this whole project was about 65 bags of topsoil. Had I known that, I would have just had a truckload of dirt dumped on the driveway. It would probably have been as cheap, if not cheaper, and a lot less trips of me going to the store and loading up my vehicles with all this topsoil. And it's really not that great quality of soil anyway, so I hope it ends up holding up over time, but we'll see. So anyway, more of this. Back to dumping topsoil off and packing underneath the deck there, and then eventually what I'm going to do is take those blocks and line the outside edge underneath the slab to hopefully keep any other critters from digging out underneath there and causing me more problems. But again, this has been going on long enough, so I want to at least get something underneath there. So just me packing, more dirt. And you see my knee started to bother me there, so I went and got something to soften them because I'm getting old, I guess. There's a sprinkler on each corner, or kind of on the right of the slab there by where that pole's at right now. There's a sprinkler head there. There's also one on the very corner of the patio slab there, so I'm going to have to dig them out and lift them up higher. The one on the left, on the corner, there's my daughter came out to inspect everything. The sprinkler on the left, I ended up accidentally cutting through it, so I had to repair that, but that pretty much is about any project you do, I guess. There's some of the concrete blocks. You see one just basically disintegrated when I tried to hammer it in there. So everybody has an opinion on how it should be done, or questions, including the dogs. So here's putting those little pavers in there. Again, they don't do much structurally, I guess. They may eventually, but they're more just to keep the dirt from hopefully washing back out, and also trying to deter anything from digging. I mean, if a possum or something wants to dig down far enough, they can obviously get underneath all that, but hopefully it's enough deterrent to keep frogs or turtles. I think frogs is what started all this, and then the rabbits kind of took up shop there too. So that me there digging is just trying to dig a little down so I can get those concrete blocks, pavers underneath the walk, the slab there. That's one of the sprinkler heads that ended up breaking. So Simon, that's the dog, he's convinced that we're looking for something in the ground, so he's really hoping, keep an eye for, I don't know what, worms maybe. So once I got all those blocks on the one side done, I was able to go to the other side then and start kind of packing it in tighter and hopefully against those blocks as well. So it really made a difference already though. Walking on that slab, I could tell already that it felt like the day it was, we bought the house, it was solid and felt like it was just poured, but it made a huge difference. Again, time will tell how long that's going to last, but I think it'll keep as long as those blocks are in there and we keep it maintained, and stop any sign of rodents that we might see. But yeah, it definitely feels completely solid now, so crossing our fingers that'll last forever. Had to cut one of the blocks down just a touch to fit in there, but everything fit really nice and tight in there. So now it's just a matter of going back through and tamping the dirt back in there around there and trying to get it as tight as I can. Like I said, I have to lift up that sprinkler head's what I'm doing there and dig it out and raise it up, so when I I'll backfill all that, the sprinkler won't be buried 6 inches or 8 inches below the grade, which kind of need to be done anyway. It's amazing how much the dirt is settled. And you'll see, it's still steeper, the grade, than I wanted it to be. You just never end. I mean, the whole house is settled over the years, and it would probably take 4 more truckloads of dirt to really taper it off properly out into the yard like I'd like to have it. But we'll see how this works out. I think I did all this and decided that it wasn't going to be quite enough, so I had to make another trip to go get more topsoil and then also some sod. Initially I was just going to plant seed, but I think I saw that as much dirt as there, it was going to be easier just to sod over it. And we've got a supplier not too far away from me where you can buy individual rolls one at a time. So I think that's what I was getting ready to do here, is getting it all leveled out. And then this is when I realized it was just too steep to really be too useful. So I was getting ready to head to the sod shop and get more sod. It's getting there, but it became evident, especially as you packed everything down, that it was going to need a lot more dirt. And I could have just left a ledge around that patio, but I was hoping to make it a little more smooth so the mower or trash can or whatever could roll up and down a lot easier. So I ran off to get more sod and more topsoil. So here we are back, and here's all I think I bought 10 more bags of topsoil, so that should have put us at 65 bags total. Again, should have just had a truckload brought out, but I always underestimate these things. I didn't realize how hollow that underneath the slab had actually gotten. So built it up a little bit more to take the rest of those 10 bags and hopefully taper it out just a little bit so it's not such a drastic slope, and get it spread out. And then I've got, like I said, I bought 5 rolls of sod, and just decided to put those down, and they'll blend out. It's been a rough, as you can tell by the yard, it's been a rough summer on the yard, but we'll keep this watered up and looking good. It'll eventually blend in and then die like the rest of it, and you won't even be able to tell. Dogs are really excited on the new sod. I don't know what it was about it, but you can see Simon's enjoying rolling in it. So here's the last sprinkler head. I got that fixed and brought it up to grade. And then finished putting the remaining rolls of sod on there, and that's pretty much it. Just keep it watered good. I'll put seed around the outside edges. I would kind of like to put a little more topsoil out there, but for now it'll work. And again, the weather is cooling down a lot where we're at now. It's going to be in the 70s for the next week, so it's great weather to put this down and hopefully get it stitched in and rooted down and growing good before it starts getting too cold. So overall, been dreading this for several years, but I knew it needed to be done, and it wasn't really causing any issues with the house, but it just looked bad, and I didn't want to have a bunch of animals in the backyard. So we got it done, and hopefully by next spring this will all be grown in and look good, and we'll forget we even had to do it. So I appreciate you watching, and I hope you enjoyed this and give you some ideas for your own projects.